Last week, we got a chance to hang out with the ladies of KCMO's Radio Dish, a relatively new talk show featuring three sweet and sassy broads.
From the minute we walked into the studio, the banter, it flew fast and furious, and yeah, there was a lot of dishing on Radio Dish.
He's been listening, but she doesn't know about it yet.
The women of Radio Dish on KCMO have learned over the years when to be snarky, when to be serious, and when to be subdued. No wonder they've become such a popular talk radio program in the last year and a half.
We talk about serious stuff with a side of humor.
You can't always be serious, and so I try to bring a little bit of levity. Otherwise, you're PSA radio, and we don't want to be that.
Joining us in studio are Michelle Davidson and Michael Mackey.
On the day we visited, Michelle and I were on our toes, ready for any question that was lobbed our way. And boy, were there a lot of questions. Can I just say it's weird being on this side of the interview?
So, what has been the biggest challenge for you?
Girl power rules Radio Dish, but you'd be surprised just how many men tune into.
Radio for women by women is kind of a slogan that we have, but we have a lot of men listeners, We're just hot chicks, and they just want to listen. I can't even say that with a straight face, but anyway, we do cover a lot of women. We gear our topics towards women, but it's very mainstream. Anybody could listen to this show.
And they do.
You can tell the ladies have fallen into a nice little groove on their show, practically finishing each other's sentences.
We've got to a point where it's a good team because you cover for one another. And if somebody's having a bad day, somebody else picks it up and takes the baton and runs with it. And that's what being a team's all about.
Whatever the topic du jour is, you can bet the conversation will be lively and spirited. And yes, there's plenty of counterpoint. And I thought I was a chatty Cathy.
Oftentimes, we find that there's more commonalities than we think. We often will start off on different sides of a topic and then gravitate and find a common ground. We hope that we have an impact on our listeners, that we inform them and entertain them, but also give them something that is uplifting that they can take away and utilize in their life that day.
Oh, yes. So if you'd like to hear the ladies of Radio Dish and our respective segment, you can catch them this Saturday from noon to 1 on KCMO AM. That's KCMO AM 710 or 103.7 FM. and KLWN in Lawrence.
Yeah, we wanted to also give a shout out to Darcy Blake, the third member of the Radio Dish posse who wasn't around last week, but she's an integral part of the show. I'm a fan of the show, so tune in for sure.